My next guest is a member of one of the most recognizable bands from the 1990s. Collective Soul started out as a group of childhood friends in Georgia, and today they're still making music and still touring at venues across the U.S. and Canada, including at the Muckleshoot Casino Resort in Auburn. Here's my conversation with Collective Soul bassist Will Turpin. When you started Collective Soul back in the early 90s, did you ever think that you'd still be playing together 30 years later?
Well, I do remember us thinking about trying to make timeless music. I remember us using those words, and we wanted to have a real career. I don't think we necessarily thought that was going to really happen for sure, but yeah. And so even in Home Depot yesterday, I heard one of our deeper cuts, and it's like, yeah, I think we achieved some timeless music. Yeah,
Definitely. Do you think then it's the timeless music that has, been the key to your longevity, or anything else that you feel like is really important?
definitely the chemistry. We all grew up together. I literally don't have a memory without knowing who Dean and Ed are. They were a couple streets over. Their parents knew my grandparents. So there's a kinsmanship and a brotherhood there that's been one of our secrets.
Your father owned a recording studio near Atlanta. How do you think that kind of helped shape you as a musician as you were growing up?
Yeah, and Ed as well. Ed was a head engineer at my father's studio.
Wow.
So yeah, so I think like early on, I think there's a lot of young bands that would have had some of the success that we did, and just thought, oh, okay, wow, we've made it, or look how cool we are. And we kept looking toward the future and kept talking about things like we want to be known for our music. It's a really good small town story. We all went to the same high school, and we had this recording studio. We like to say that my dad gave us the fertile ground to do what we wanted to do, and learn how to be a band. We learned a lot by being a studio band at a young age.
Was there a moment that you feel like that you guys knew, wow, like our popularity is really taking off, this is huge?
Well, I mean, we knew Shine. I mean, Shine was the #1 rock track in 1994, so we knew that was a hit. I think for me, like the moment I feel like we had a stamp on our career, not necessarily success, but like, okay, this is legit. You can not be the hugest fan of Collective Soul, but you can't say that we haven't achieved something here. It was probably the Dosage record. It was our 4th record release, and it became our biggest seller. So when your 4th record becomes your biggest one, you keep going up and up and up, and you had all the success before that. Then I felt like, okay, we're here to stay. We don't want to rest, but we're here to stay.
And 30 years later, you're touring the country. How are audiences responding? And do you still play the hits that, made you so famous, or are you sticking more to newer music right now?
Oh, we definitely play the hits. We're the kind of rock band that, it's not going to be exactly the same every night, but we enjoy that. That keeps it fresh for us. If you don't enjoy playing those songs for these people that, they've made these tunes, these lyrics, they've made them part of their lives. A lot of people now are my father took me to my first Collective Soul show when I was 13. He's not with us anymore. And when y'all play that song, there's nothing better than that, And so it becomes I've been telling people it becomes a celebration of life when everybody's in the same room singing these words. We're all here. The songs mean different things for different people, but again, they're kind of the soundtrack to their lives.
And speaking of new music, though, Here to Eternity, I hear there's a story behind this one too, on where you recorded it.
Oh yeah. We were very fortunate. A friend of a friend told us that he had purchased Elvis's Palm Springs estate.
No.
And so our first initial light bulb moment was always, well, let's take some gear there and record. It took us about 2 years to get the plan together and actually do it. But yeah, we were for a whole month. We were living in Palm Springs, being a rock band, and checking in at Elvis's estate every day and recording music. Yeah.
That is the dream. That is so amazing. So what is next?
We've already recorded some new material in the fall. We went to a place in the mountains and just got away for a while. So we've got another record in the can. I'm excited about the quintessential Collective Soul documentary. It's pretty much complete. We're just looking for the outlet, the partnership we got to find with somebody to distribute the thing. But I'm excited for everybody to see this. Like I said, it's a small town story. It's the small town international rock band story.
And don't miss Collective Soul at the Muckleshoot Casino Resort on Tuesday, January 14th.
This portion of New Day Northwest is sponsored by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.